Morning, folks. Look at there. Y'all country mutt. Ooh, it's comfortable out here this morning. Look at that sun peeping up over the horizon. Our horizon's got trees on it. Hear them crows? My dog's having a fit in the house because she can't stand them crows to make their noise. Alright. This is Sunday. Let's go tie some pools off. And when I say that, what I mean, finish them up. Alright, folks. We have arrived. Approximately an hour from the house. This is the pump. This we'll hook to what we call a skimmer. It's the box that'll be right here that catches the leaves and stuff. In case you ever need to hook this back up, just be helpful here. All right. So that goes to the pump. The pump. This has got a little strainer in it too. I don't know. It's hard to open, two-handed process. Anyway, then it comes up, goes into this. This is the filter system. There's sand media in here. It just the water in different directions depends on which way you got this pointed. Right now we're in backwash. It really needs to be on filter because that's probably where they're going to start. And it's opposite of backwash. It goes through the filter media in here, which is nothing but sand. It catches it. Once the water has been cleaned by that, then it goes back into the return port, which goes in then what'll be right here. And when I finish, I'll show what I've done. This is a very nice looking setup. I like that it's a little further from the pool for the benefit of giving me a little bit of room to work. And when I finish, I'm going to do all hard pipe. We're going to get rid of this. We'll keep this one. There's no reason to remove that one unless it was to leak. Alright, I'll get set up and get my things together, and I might put a quick time lapse on this. Yeah, then to put the return in, eyeball some call it. Alright, I generally cut this slightly inside. I'll show you when I get there, if you can't see clearly. The reason I do that, I like to have just a little buffer there, a little more liner instead of a little less liner. Okay. If I cut it right at it, that means I've only got so much. See that? Let's see. See how it's cut just a little inside? Okay, and then you take your little coin, you turn your pattern to U, you drop it down in there. Put this here now. Alright. And this is the gaskets between the inside and outside. I don't know why it's got two cardboard. Usually there's two rubber and one cardboard. The cardboard is so this can slide on that. Put that through, how it fit. I generally wet this in the pool. It don't hold water real well, but there's a little bit of water on it. And that's just so this slides better. Okay. Orientation doesn't matter. But one key about this is turn this side and don't let the other side turn. This is just an oil filter wrench. It grabs this really well. But if the inside turns, it wads your liner up in a twist, and that just sometimes if you don't catch it, it will actually hold that twist and look terrible. So that's that one. And that's what it looks like on the inside. This we call it eyeball, of course, because this thing turn any direction you want it to. If you want it to squirt out of the water, ideally it turns the opposite way of the skimmer, which we'll have in just a moment. Now, how I prep the skimmer. I saw this one time a few years ago. I loved it. Trying to get you balance here. All right. Cut from my corner end. I have these pieces of tape already broke off. Pull that back, tape it, put a little oil on it. That now forms me a gasket. I'm gonna have a gasket, but now I got a second gasket. Cut from a corner end. I've already got my tape cut. It's tape we used the other day just to seal this area off. Now I ain't using tape twice. Frugality. You should be frugal in everything you do. Alright. And then I like to cut this in a little above horizon because there's only so much up here. Okay, I've already got my tape cut again. See where it was taped to a piece of liner that covered the hole. That's what we use with whatever's handy. Look like people have been in here, folks. Look, poo noodles over there. Oh, you see them over by the ladder? Get you back in place there. Alright. And then it don't matter how you end up. I always do the sides first, but now that all that makes somewhat of a gasket. Then you got the real gasket. This is a butterfly gasket. They call it a butterfly gasket, well, because it works like butterfly wings. There's a piece on the inside, piece on the outside. It's a little bit of a juggling act, but it goes on here fine enough. You have to fight it just a little bit, bend it in 9 directions. This is a clear one. Sometimes they're white. Most of the time they're white, quite honestly. It's just a different kit, different manufacturer. Alright, and I always give it the old whop whop. Whop whop whop. Alright. Here's the face frame. That goes on the inside, on the other side. And sometimes, just so you don't look heel, it'll have top or bottom on it. The last one I did. And if you put it at the bottom, it makes you look like you don't pay attention. And you want to look like you pay attention to your clientele, or they don't feel confident in what they paid you. At this point, I just need 2 screws, one on each side, coming through from in there. And it just holds this in place. Let's see, it's a little monkey here. Let's see here. All right. Get it started a little bit and then use the gun. And right there is where I have damaged more liners than any other way, is let that gun slip while I'm doing this. You see where here I am. There's my screw. Find the hole. Okay. Now I can get the skimmer box in place. This is open to the inside of the pool. The water level will be somewhere below the top, but at least halfway, or the pump could run dry. And I hold that up there and get these screws started in it. It's important you get those screws tight, but you don't want to strip it out. And this gun will definitely strip it out. Okay. Get my ladder. Step stool, we might say. I've done this hundreds of times, so it's kind of a by eye, by feel. So we don't strip it all the way out. It's just screws and plastic. I'm a mechanic by origin. I learned a mechanic as a child on everything I've ever touched. I'm not finished by no means. However, I've chosen to do every other one, and as you can see, it's kind of bulging that, and that's kind of walk it down. Like I said, in mechanics, you don't tighten every bolt as you go. You do a little as you go. And here's just, you got to reach over such as this. All right. Center at top, skip one. In between there in the corner. Got most of them snug now. I can just go back and fill in the gaps. Probably. Alright, then I just go back and look, make sure it looks like it smashed the gasket real good underneath. That looks like I could put a little tension on that, so I think I will. I usually like to remove this, especially when it's going to be seen like that. It just looks like you tidied up. Now then, one of these will go here. I'll have to put one there. There'll have to be one there. And there'll have to be one here. Alright, here we go. It's the no affiliation. That's called monster tape. And since I've been using that, it's been so much more reliable than the simple white stuff. I put anywhere from 12 to 15 wraps of this on here, and if it's the white stuff, sometimes 20. And here's the thing, I'm wire from home. If it leaks and I gotta come back, it's a pain in the backside. This is another thing a fella told me. Make sure it goes down in there. Don't just ride on top of the threads. And I thought, what difference does that make? Yeah. Then I tried it a few times, especially with as much as I'm using, which somebody's gonna say too much maybe. It tends to wad up. I find those long turns like I just did on that. You turn and you keep turning and you keep turning. Not short turns, not quick. Turn. Long turns all the way around. It heats that up, that tape from the friction, and it makes it hold better. I don't know how else to say it. It just holds better. All right, this is pressurized. Anything from the pump this way is pressurized. I'll make sure that's just a scratch. I'll make sure that I use good tape and good methods as I put that together. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. I'll work it in all the way into those threads, not just sitting on top. And then use my knife blade just to smash it down in them threads. Trying to follow them, not jump them. Doing all right. Oop, jumped it. Now I've smashed them down in the threads. Try that again. Okay. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Easy way to tell, back it back up some. If it feels like it's equal resistance in both directions, you probably haven't cross threaded it. Oh, another. I love these things. Another. They ain't give me nothing. I'm just showing you. They work real good right here. They're compact. Just a second, I'll show you the alternative. Can you get that in the camera? That's what I used to use. And I ain't against it. They stay in there in case I need it. But those are much more modest size. Alright, I got one more to do. Where is it? I'm going to have to use this. I don't have another one. It's not premium because this is so short. That's compared to the depth of that. You got another 1/4 inch or better there of glue surface. But this is going to be on the non-pressure side. I'm planning it there on purpose. There it goes. other heel of this is the thread depth slightly longer on the other fittings. Check and make sure I'm not cross threading. See, it's important, especially on these plastic parts. It's easy to cross thread them if you're kind of rushing or yes, that's considered a non-pressure fitting. You'd use that under your sink. That's why it's not premium where I'm putting it, but that's what I've got. I don't have many options. Now, let's just hook that over to here and this somehow to there. All right, now we can talk pipe. This is cellular core. What that means is there's a thin layer of full PVC here and a cellular material between there and the outside, which is also the PVC material. I can scratch it with my fingernail because it's cell core. This really shouldn't be used down here. It's not going to fail immediately. It's just not as hardy as this, and I can tell the difference in my hand, the weight of this. You'll not dent the center of that because this is the same material inside and out. This is another piece of it. Yes, I can tell by the weight of it in my hand. This piece weighs more than that piece. This little piece weighs more than the long piece because it's solid. All right, between the pool wall and the pump system, it's good to have some flex because the kids jump in, the water moves. Okay, this too. So that's what this comes in handy for. This is flexible. So it don't have to have much, just enough that it can move and wiggle between them. But I'm gonna rigid mount. She wants these valves on here. I'm gonna rigid mount those straight with some of that hard pipe, in a fashion that I'm satisfied that it will hold up well. All right, folks. The majority of the plumbing is complete. That's the pump. I chose to go this route. Here's my flexible piece. And this is rigidly mounted to the pump so that when you turn it off and on, it's not out there loose. This is rigidly mounted to the filter so you can turn it. And here's my flexible piece so the wall can move and it's not putting anything in the bind. All that's complete. The lady had a problem with it gouging out right over there because this hose goes over there and doesn't anyway. I'm gonna see, can I not like go from here under the fence and put a kick on it so it'll sort of splash out in an array instead of wash the soil out. But other than that, that's a complete job. See, I got all this stuff underfoot. Got a little box full of fittings, what have you, my tools I used. Those right there are excellent for this. Sometimes on that solid pipe you have to move it around a couple of times because it tends to try to break it. But does a great job for a one-time cut. That's it installed. That's a very fine looking job if I say so myself. As far as otherwise, it would be these little slinky hoses, and those usually you get 1 year's use out of them, maybe 2, to the point they fail. Anyway, I certainly appreciate you. That's a 33. That is vast. That is huge. Most people's homes aren't that wide. 32 is a common width of a house. This is a 33-foot wide pool. of course, diameter. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is how they usually come. Gasket on the inside, that's the eyeball, I call it. Return is the proper term. Gasket on the outside, and then that cardboard top washer on the outside so the nut can rub against it. That sounded bad. So anyway, so it doesn't bind up on the rubber. Anyway, that was good stuff. It was totally unintentional. Again, same thing every time. If I find it works good, I keep doing it. All right. Cut just inside of that. I still ain't got over what I just said. That was funny. Cut just inside a little piece. Like I said, that gives me some to flange out there, and at some point, again, pardon me, make another gasket. Put your coin down in there. You token. Some people call it. Bing. Dampen that. And that's just so that nut can slide against it. This is unusual. I don't like how this come out. Here, it's the shoulders on the nut. Don't tell my cut. Oil filter wrench. Put the whammy on it. Ain't going nowhere. Put that in. It doesn't have to be tight, just loosely. You know, several threads, but I'm not snugging it up hard tight. Now then, that's going to connect here. Oh, this is unusual. This odd man out. Either way, all about the same. I'll fold that out. Steady there. This is an overlap. It's not like the last one. Come on, off that tape. That's what you do. Oh, look out. Got this. Oh, that stuff is really good. Does stick exceptionally well. Alright, now this needs out of my way, so I'll use a piece of that for that. Get it over there, see if I can get it on top of that. Now I've got that out of my way. Together over here because the winds are huffing a little bit. Again, I like to hit that just above the horizon. butterfly gasket. See, they make these two individual gaskets, one on the inside and one on the outside. That allows this treated water, chemical of some kind, to get on the edge of that wall where it's been cut. Where it's been cut, it's not treated with a paint or with any kind of surface prep whatsoever. Some chlorine or sometimes salt really damages it fast. Okay, and then now I go on here. The same thing as last time, putting a couple screws in, get up on something where I can reach better and finish that up. And then connect this to the skimmer, filter to filter. And I'm assuming this goes to the return, but I am not sure on this one because it's not labeled and it's an unusual kind that I don't run into. Right there it says return. So I know where that goes, so this must go to the pump. So that's good, it is labeled. Alright, enjoy. Thank you.